All right, greetings everybody. This is Kali, the Master Headhunter. Hope that everybody's well and in great standing when this video reaches you. Yes, you guys, I'm on here another again. We're going to talk about self-discipline and self-control and why it's important to exercise both of those. Bear with me today. I am a little tired. Had a few things I've had to get done. Hopefully somebody can join me, and hopefully I will be able to get some feedback, because for some reason last week I couldn't get any feedback. So you guys, I couldn't hear any sound, and it was some other stuff. I don't even have my phone back here with me. That's crazy. So bear with me. Give me just a second, you guys. Just a second, and I will be right back. I have to get my telephone, so just in case, you guys want to call in. Oh boy. Add an item from a website. I'm not about to go there right now. Let me go back to that. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys, give me just a second here. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back, you guys. I'm back. Excuse the background. I got some stuff going on behind me, so yeah, that's why it looks like that. But anyway, you guys, I wanted to talk about self-discipline because that is the topic that popped up in my. I was about to say the other day, right? Last weekend. That is. I hate that glare in my glasses. You know what I mean? But last week, that was the topic that popped up in my head last week, and I am going to be reading about self-discipline. I'm going to be coming out the American Heritage College Dictionary today. All right, and let's talk about self-discipline. Okay, I'm gonna give a few little definitions, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna of course, we know self means oneself, and discipline is training expected a specific character or pattern of behavior. Training that produces moral or mental improvement. Controlled behavior resulting from disciplinary training, self-control. Control obtained by enforcing compliance or order, a systematic method to obtain obedience. Order based on submission to authority. Yeah. This is discipline now. Punishment to correct or train, a set of rules or methods as those regulating the practice of a church or monastic order, a branch of knowledge or training or teaching, to train by instruction, to practice, to teach self-control to teach to accept authority, to punish to gain control over, enforce disobedience, and anyway, craziness, right? But basically, for lack of a better term, discipline means to control oneself through practice and exercising practice in different methods. I had to control myself today and exercise self-discipline and self-control. I was at a store, and this lady, she was looking at me crazy. You know what I mean? She asked for my ID, and I gave her my ID, but instead of her just looking at the birthday, she's looking at the whole ID, and I'm sitting up there like, she gave it back to me the minute I was getting ready to say something out of my mouth. And then she had the nerve, she didn't even speak to me. She just rung up my transaction, was steady talking to somebody else. The lady was who she was talking to was being polite to me, talking to me, telling me she liked my sunglasses and everything else. While this lady is just popping her gum, having this conversation with this other woman, not even addressing me. I'm like, excuse me, how much is it? I can be rude and brutal. Well, not even brutal, but blunt, and she was like, oh, nine something something. And I'm like, wow. I'm thinking to myself, what's the point of this? You know what I mean? What is all this for? She didn't even say thank you, have a great day, or none of that stuff. And I'm sitting up here like, it ain't even worth saying anything to her. You know what I mean? Getting myself all bent out of shape. It's not even worth it. So I disciplined myself, and I got my bag and smiled and told the lady who sacked everything, thank you, you have a great day, and I walked out the door. Because I could have did something else, but I didn't. I disciplined myself, and I exercised the control. I'm in control. She's having a bad day apparently, or was jealous. This is exactly what I looked like when I went up there. I mean, I had my sunglasses on, but other than that, so I don't know what her problem was, but apparently it couldn't have been with me. It must have been with herself. Maybe she looked at me and saw something that she wished she could do for herself. I don't know, but that's pretty much how that went. So I have some more over here. I'll incorporate that as I go along. But exercising discipline and self-control is so important because, of course, they say first impressions is everything. And if you give an impression, okay, I just fly off the handle at any given moment for any given reason, people will push your buttons. They'll see, oh, okay, I can use this against you, because a lack of discipline or a lack of control with oneself shows a sign of weakness. It also shows fear. It shows fear that you're trying to hide, and you put this display up, of not being disciplined because you think that's going to intimidate the next person. But what most of us don't realize is that doesn't work. It makes you look like a fool, and you look very juvenile and childish, especially if you're an adult and you're behaving in these ways. These are things that I've had to learn myself. I didn't like to discipline. I didn't like to exercise discipline and self-control because I just didn't want to be controlled. So I just wanted to be out of control. So I'd always go off on anybody or, say mean things, because I was hurting on the inside. And I wanted somebody else to feel that pain. Not literally, that's not what I was thinking. But if you think about it, hurting people hurt other people. You know what I mean? And this world is full of people that are hurting due to society and other circumstances. But using discipline, it really helps so much. It helps you in every aspect. And even in using discipline, you have to exercise not only self-control, but you have to exercise patience. Something that I'm still learning to exercise more better, I'm not a very patient person. I'm very impatient. And now I can be patient when, I pick and choose when I want to be patient. That's crazy, ain't it? I pick and choose when I want to be patient. That is totally that's crazy. I need my glasses on today, you guys, because my eyes I don't know, they're feeling kind of funny. My vision is a little blurry today. So, but exercising self-control is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. Also, another thing that I've learned, not only with exercising self-control, but in dealing with people, but also exercising self-control and disciplining yourself for desires, that really don't need to be met at the present given time. I feel like a lot of us nowadays are so loose with sex. We're just quick to, and when I say we, I don't definitely mean me, you, but what I'm saying is people as a whole. They're so quick to jump in and out of bed with so many different people because I guess that's the hip thing, in society. And once you get into that behavior, it's like a downward spiral. It leads to many different things, lack of self-control with your sexual, self, or with sexuality can lead to unwanted pregnancies. It can lead to diseases. It can lead to a bad relationship. It can lead to a fatal attraction. It can lead to many different things. I apologize, you guys. I'm doing my best to stay focused and get with it, but I have so much on my mind right now. So if I seem a little slow and spacey, just forgive me because I'm really, really exhausted. I have quite a bit of change going on in my life, and I'm doing the best I can to deal with it, and I'm a little exhausted emotionally because I've been cleaning out my own emotional and spiritual closet. And I'm getting my heart together, so it can be light as a feather in my eye, you know. Um, so I'm doing a lot to exercise self-control and discipline. I'm monitoring what I do, how much I do it, um, doing my best to exercise self-control and discipline in every area of my life, from eating to sleeping to being on the internet to just so many different things. I really am learning to control my desires because I have let a lot of my desires get the best of me in life. And I haven't governed myself very well. I have not governed myself very well at all. So I'm working on that, and which comes to self-containing, meaning not depending on others, being self-sufficient, keeping yourself together, being reserved, being self-conscious, of yourself, of your behavior, of what you're doing, being mindful. So what I'm going to do right now at this point, you guys, because I'm like totally, totally exhausted. I don't want to do too much talking on my own. I'd rather listen. So if you guys want to join in, I believe you can write down, your message. I see a group chat on the side. How that works, I don't know because I'm not on the other side looking. I'm the one hosting. So what I'll do is I will give out my line. It is 816-255-2346. That is area code 816-255-2346. I would love to hear about you guys' story about self-control or discipline, instance or an experience where you've had to exercise that. I can tell many stories where I've had to exercise self-control, and sometimes it takes a lot out of me, when I have to exercise self-control. So that number is area code 816-255-2346, 816-255-2346. If you would like to call, because for some reason, you can join, but I don't see that anybody is up here. And it's been 16 minutes. So, and you know what's crazy, you guys? I almost didn't want to come on here and do the show. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I feel like, I don't know, I'm going to tell you guys what happened. A neighbor down the street passed away. They said she killed herself. It was suicide. Well, she stayed 2 houses down from me. And I noticed ever since that day, I've been feeling really, really, really drained and tired. I feel more at ease and at peace within myself, but I noticed ever since that day, I've been extremely tired and drained. And I think that's because a lot of people around me crying because my neighbor across the street, she was taking it really hard, and I was trying to explain to her, that I listened and I sat and listened, and I said we can sit here and talk all day, but the thing about it is it was her choice. In the end, it was her choice. She did not exercise self-control. She did not discipline herself. She chose to take her own life. If that's the case, then it was her choice. I don't get bent out of shape about death. Um, I have not lost someone. Well, I have lost ones that were extremely close to me. You know, but it's inevitable. It's nothing we can do. You can't really fight against what people call death, which is really not death. It's transformation. You leave one place to go somewhere else. And most of us look forward to that day. You look at it like an old friend because it's so crazy and chaotic in this world. You're like, whew, finally you came to get me. You know what I mean? Hey, time to get up out. I've been feeling really drained since then. So, I think I'm gonna, probably do some fasting, and I wanted to do it today and just shut everything down, but I knew I was having this live chat, so I wanted to keep that going because I wasn't able to make it last week, and by the time I got home, it was like after 7, so I just didn't want to, end it. I mean, begin it like that. I was rushing in the door, so I did the best I could, but I believe I'm going to change the day also. I'm going to turn it into Sunday instead of Saturday. I think that would be more convenient too. Because around this time, normally my husband, he wants to, take me out for a date, and then I have to do this and hurry up and rush and try to figure out what I'm aware and all this other stuff. And I'm just kind of, like I said, my energy is a little drained. When somebody commits suicide, I'm sure that takes a lot of courage and guts. I ain't gonna say courage. It takes a lot of, whew, I don't know, because I couldn't imagine doing that. I remember I attempted to do it at one time, taking some pills, and it just made me sleep for 2 or 3 days. And I said, you know what, it's nothing worth trying to be foolish. And that was years and years ago. So I just decided it's no reason. There's always a solution. So, I would not take my life. Yes, I have dealt with depression or that spirit of depression or that feeling or that emotion of depression, shall I say. But it's not enough because I know there's always a solution. There's always a way and a means to be able to fix whatever it is, or come out of whatever the situation is. So, yeah, and I also believe I'm going to change the time because I get really tired towards the end of the evening, and I'm not always as peppy, and I'm really drained, you guys, really, really am. It's very crazy. I'm just tired. I don't know what for. I went to bed at a reasonable time. I went to bed about 11 o'clock last night. Was it what time? Let me stop lying. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I went to bed at 1. I was up with my husband. We watched the movie, so I went to bed at 1. And I slept till about 11 today. So I don't know, I just been feeling drained, like I said, for the last 2 days. Because it was, what day was that? Was it yesterday? I think it was Thursday. That was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. So, let me see who this is. Hello?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm on it, boy. This be having the first one call. How you doing, my sister?
I'm great. How you doing?
You didn't even get the dishes out, and I was practicing. You hear me?
Yeah.
This is reintroduce myself again. This is your brother Abdallah.
All right.
I'm in Shot City, via Gary, Indiana, but I'm living on the northeast side of the country in an area that is the genealogy line of Hillary Clinton, Vice President Biden. It's called the Fred Wolfsburg area.
Oh.
Yeah, and I called Saturday because I was like, oh, where's the Master Headhunter? They told me that, the show wasn't, you really didn't know, and then I saw your video. So, again, you are so important in my life because you speak truth and you speak honesty. I love that. And that's one point I wanted to talk to you about before we get into discipline.
Okay.
The Master Headhunter, your life is very entertaining.
Is it?
To be honest. Your life is, it's like, I'm like enjoying it like, I got my popcorn and my tea. It's like a little soap opera going on. You talking about some reality. I don't need the Real Housewives.
Right.
The Master Headhunter is really beneficial to your audience if you stay personal. When you say, I'm tired. This is what happened at the store today.
Right.
I got things I'm doing in my life because we can relate to you. We can kind of say, yeah, I'm kind of going through that too. Instead of us dwelling or discussing the topic, which is definitely something we're going to do, it would be great if you can kind of set some time to just talk about you and your life and some issues that happened within the last week. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Wait. The second thing I want to say, I'm telling you, I know nothing about this Google Hangout.
I am learning. I'm trying to learn. It is like, it's complicated.
I got you going on YouTube, and I got you going on Google Hangout. I don't know what. The last lecture, I was able to type and, listen to you. Now all I got is you on the big screen, but I'm glad you did ask us to call in. When you mentioned last week, you're going to be talking about discipline. The first thing came in my mind was the mythical story of Job from the Old Testament.
Right.
Of course, we don't know if there really was a Job. There's any evidence to prove that. But if you talk about a brother that was disciplined,
right.
If you talk about a brother that had some self-control, Job was that. And when you brought up about, we're going to talk about discipline, I was saying to myself, was Job, did he have to work on being disciplined, or was it already in him? And I concluded it was a little bit of both.
Right.
Because, the Creator did tell the evil spirit, hey, there's a brother down there, I know got my back. Matter of fact, go ahead, see what you can do with him.
Right.
So that spirit knew that righteousness of Job. But then Job many times wanted to give up being disciplined. You know what I mean?
Right.
Job kind of wanted to, he was crying out, Lord, why? After so much tragedy that happened, he wanted to give up. So I kind of look at Job as that discipline topic that came to my mind when mentioned what we're going to talk about.
Right.
And most recently, matter of fact, about an hour before you started broadcasting, I ran into a blog post of the now soon-to-be ex-husband of one of the stars of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh.
Apollo Nyad or something like this.
Mhm.
This was a brother who had a career in some type of financial organization, and he was married, he had children, he was on television, and supposedly, from what we saw, he was living a disciplined life.
Mhm.
He was a husband, and he knew how to be a husband. From what we see now,
Right.
he was a father, and he knew how to be a father. But then, he ended up getting caught in some type of embezzlement and false checks, writing false checks, and
Wow.
money laundering. So I kind of looked at him as that disciplined role model. I was like, now hold it. He was, from what we saw,
Right.
disciplined brother. But then what really was going on is he wasn't disciplined at all. So I look at discipline also as a skill.
Right.
Kind of defined it just now, something that, a training, or it's about that control. But, it's also a skill. You got to know how to maintain that discipline aspect of your spirit.
Right.
And that spirit or that discipline can either act in a voluntary or involuntary manner.
Right.
Being deliberate in being disciplined, like you was at the store and you had to kind of hold your tongue. Because I was saying, when you said that, I was like, I'm glad she didn't know the Master Headhunter about 2 years ago. She would have been on YouTube or Worldstar Hip Hop. I was like, she better be bad. But it's a blessing that you are working on maintaining that skill of being disciplined.
Right.
So that's what I kind of thought of. That Job aspect of discipline, and then that brother Apollo Nyad aspect of discipline.
Right.
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 All right. So I'm going to listen to the rest of the show.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Much love, Abdallah. Thank you very much for calling in. Yeah, it is. It's sometimes. I know when I was younger, I would feel like I was a punk or I was soft, if I turned the other cheek. And there was many times I did, but due to the fact that I was around people who were not really a good influence, or I would let them influence me, like, oh, you just gonna let them sit up there and say, so I've just decided, it'd just be easier for me, to keep me from going to jail, to keep me from getting in trouble, to keep me from a lot of different things, I've also been in situations where I've had to discipline myself and didn't want to. I've also been in front of situations where I've shown discipline, where I've humbled myself. I was in front of my daughter and had to show, and it made me so mad. So she saw me discipline myself, but she also saw the repercussions of me discipline myself. And I was angry, because it was nothing that I could do about it, would make it so bad. So, that really was an eye-opener for me as well. I used to work through my emotions very publicly. I would get mad and I would make a video. Even before making a video, I would get mad and I would call anybody who would listen, because I just wanted everybody to just hear me, hear how hurt I was, how frustrated I was. But I've even learned how to discipline myself with that, and just I keep it to myself. I journal it down. Or I do what I call a digital diary. That's something I don't share. I've made many videos where I have not shared them, and I'm like, ooh, it's one, I think I'm going to upload some of it in a compilation video that I have. I was going off, and I actually recorded this a month ago. And because I'm very passionate, guys, I was like loud in that video, and I'm like, wow. But I'm gonna go ahead and upload it because I just feel like, you know, our people really need to get serious, with the situations that are going on. But discipline is what has not exercising self-discipline has got a lot of us with a lot of children, or it's gotten a lot of people with diseases, having to go to the health clinic or go get that, that shot for the clap or whatever the case may be. Not exercising discipline and self-control, self-discipline and self-control has gotten people in jail, has gotten people killed. You have to be careful with your words because you just don't know about the person that you are getting ready to display this behavior to. You don't know what type of mind frame this person is in. I think nowadays in this society, we got, especially with us as black people, we have this thing where we want to be hard all the time. And black people have this thing where they hate to say, I don't know something. They just have to know everything. They have to be hard all the time. And I sit there and I'm looking at it like, that's foolish. You know what I mean? Only the strong get to survive. How do you be strong? Well, you have to think like a stronger person. Like the lady today, if I would have played into her and said anything, that would have fed her ego and she would have had something to talk about all night long. And I would have been sitting over here mad and upset, and not being able to contain myself. I just laughed and I said, it's not worth it. I'm not having the bad day. She is. And, I felt really good and I felt like that was a milestone for me, that I exercised. I didn't even show, attitude. You know what I mean? I attempted to when I was like, how much is it? But I thought, I'm not even going to give her the satisfaction, and I feel really good, because I didn't feed into the bad situation. I didn't give it any energy. I didn't add any fuel to the fire. And I noticed I got tested even a little bit more on the way home driving. People just pull out in front of you and I mean, it's crazy, and like I'm driving down the street trying to get back home, trying to miss all the heavy traffic. And I mean, this man was just in the middle of the street talking to this other man, or it was a woman in the car. I don't know who was in the car, but this man was in the street. And they just standing there in the car, just in the middle of the street. I had to go around them so I wouldn't miss the light. I should have waited, yeah, but at the same time, I was like, why should I have to sit there and wait because you're sitting there blocking traffic? No, it just, doesn't work like that, And it's so many times, that's why my horn don't be working half the time. I'm telling you, because I'll be that honk and say something or flip somebody off or shoot me in the street. So I know that, my horn works sometimes when it wants to, but for the most part, I be wanting to honk and say something, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't need to display road rage, So not showing discipline or self-control can really get you in a lot of trouble. It can make people look at you in the wrong way. I remember when I didn't exercise self-control and discipline, I remember people used to push my buttons all the time because I was allowing them to. I was showing them you could. I was showing weakness. I was showing fear. And I remember when I was it was a city jail here. They don't have city jail here anymore. You go straight to the county now. They used to have city jail. But I was in Leeds. It was called Leeds. And I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. So I remember one of the guards was telling me I was going off on my mama. I was mad at her, going off on her on the phone, hanging the phone up, just pissed. I'd never been locked up like that before. And the guard was like, "You're gonna have to use some discipline, honey. That shows a sign of weakness." I didn't want to hear that at the time, but I listened to her because I knew she was telling the truth. She said these women will play on that, and you'll get in trouble, and you're gonna get more and more time. And I remember when she told me that, I paid attention to that. So I think we have to use humility, and Job was a very good example of discipline. There's there's many reasons why I don't really like using that story, but He used a lot of self-control and discipline, you know. But I just think it's important that we learn how to discipline ourselves in every way of life. Sex, eating, leisure time, whatever we do. And people say, oh, whatever you do, do it in moderation. But all things are not good to do in moderation. When you want to attain a goal, and it shouldn't be so much so I can fit in that new bikini or so I can fit in them new jeans. No, I need to be healthier. I have to attain a healthy lifestyle. So let me discipline my eating habits. Let me eat before a certain time of the day. Let me eat way before sundown. Let me go to bed an hour after sundown. You have to discipline yourself. Let me discipline myself to drink more water. You have to take steps to doing that. If you lazy like me, and if you have to have water by your bedside, do that. So the minute you get up, you drink that water. Not go, but you drink it in, take it in, get your body lubricated. And you go in there and take your shower, your bath, and then you start drinking another bottle of water, or a cup of water. But you have to take steps. Even with sex, you have to be disciplined. And people think because they're in a relationship or they're married, they can just have sex all day long and it's not affecting them. Well, it's taking your energy. Every time the man ejaculates, he's giving out his life force. Every time woman, you having the only difference with us, we can have multiple ones and it doesn't really bother us as much. Sometimes it will give you energy. But for the most part, it's your life force. Men, once y'all have that one, a lot of times you guys are through, but some of you have good stamina. Those who have learned how to discipline themselves, they can go a little longer. But that takes practice. But you're giving away your life force every time. It's like an explosion in your body. It's like popping fireworks in your body. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to be careful how much you give that life force out, brothers. Sisters, especially brothers. Y'all shouldn't be ejaculating. You need to work on that mind. Discipline yourself. Get it together. When you know you're getting ready to go, stop. Keep it up. You build up endurance. And it does take endurance to be self-disciplined, and you have to build that up. If you're not used to exercising self-discipline and self-control, you have to continue to build those things up so that you will be able to meet that goal. You want to be focused on yourself, and I think that's a big problem we have nowadays, because I know I didn't start discovering who I was until I was after 30. Here I am, 37 years old, feel like I'm in the prime of my life, my life was really about to take off in a good direction, but I was too busy having sex early, having children early, doing other things. Did not even take the time to cultivate myself. I did use self-discipline when I wanted to attain a goal or achieve something. And that's what you have to do. You have to discipline yourself. You know what I mean? Not only to be healthy, or not only to always not give your life force out, but you discipline yourself so that you can become a better person, become a better you. That was the whole point of, this part of my journey that I started, so that I can become a better me and that I can share this journey on YouTube, and now here on Google Plus. But share this journey, so that others know that you're not alone, because it's things that I go through I want to talk about, and I did not know how to talk about them back then because I just didn't know how to tell those parts of myself. But now that I'm more comfortable, I can share more information. You know what I mean? And hopefully someone will find out, oh, I'm not going through this alone. You know what I mean? We're not alone. It's just that most people want to be so perfect up here in front of the camera that they choose not to talk about these things. But it should get easier for you. That's what I thought. It would get easier, the older I became, the more I started to age. And it's not. It's more difficult, and I'm having to learn how to exercise discipline and self-control all over again in certain aspects aspects, but there's some that I'm lacking, and I notice I have a very addictive personality. You know what I mean? So I'm monitoring that right now to see why is that. You know, why is that? Why am I displaying that behavior of addiction? You know what I mean? It's with all kind of things. I can get addicted to watching a certain show, or I can get addicted to doing a certain exercise, or I can get addicted to reading certain types of books. You know what I mean? It don't have to just be with a substance, or you know what I mean. So I'm learning. I'm learning so much about myself, you guys, in all this, and I'm really thankful that I'm able to. You know, I know many people, even like now, I'm really starting to see, where I have to even exercise discipline and self-control with dealing with my children because they are used to mama just doing, and I notice my two oldest ones, they just try to run me through the ringer and think I don't know it. And because I gave birth to them, I love them, but at the same time, it's like I'm in a bad relationship. So I have to be disciplined and cut them off to a certain degree. And that's hard. That's hard for me to do that because if I don't, they'll never learn. And it's hard for me to be that way with my children. So I'm even having to exercise discipline in that area, and it's not comfortable. It's not easy. It's very difficult. I feel like sometimes it makes me want to cry, because I feel like I'm being the mean mother. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And I had to get out that feeling, all in my feelings, and it's difficult, it's difficult because I'm not used to telling them no, and I'm not used to saying this, that, and the other. I'm firm when I have to be, but on another note, it's like it's really not easy for me to be that way with them, because I love them so much and I want to give them everything, but I can't because they have to learn how to give themselves stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm learning to be disciplined in that area, not letting them run over me even when I know they're doing it. They're trying to pull. So I am learning discipline in a lot of different areas of my life, and just exercising that self-control and doing the best I can. Like I said, I've been really drained and a little tired this week, well, these last couple of days. But, I haven't been making videos. I just don't have a desire to make videos a lot of times. I have a lot going on right now. There's many changes going on in my life. And I have to discipline myself with my spending. I have to discipline myself with, because I like to drink sometimes and, sometimes I overdo it. I have to discipline myself with the way I eat because I like potatoes and, I like rich foods and my body doesn't. So I'm having to discipline myself with that, We're going to be having to move, so there's a lot of major changes going on. I'm looking for work right now, It's a lot of major changes going on in my life. And I just really, I'm going to discipline myself. Even being on the computer, that's hard for me because I love doing that. And I've had nothing else to do for the last 3 years. So, getting back into that mode of being out there, I do notice that I'm having to learn how to build them all over again. When you out of the loop, when you don't go out and deal with everything that's going on in this machine world, I notice you can kind of get out of touch with their reality. Not reality, their reality. And excuse me, it can become quite difficult. It can become quite difficult to deal with when you're not dealing with it on a continual basis every day. it's just I'm just sitting up here trying to figure out what in the world is it gonna be like. Oh yeah, but anyways, and I'm doing that so that I can grow my business at a better rate. And like I said, we're moving, and I need to have a stream of income coming in for me. So there's a lot of changes taking place in my life, and some of them are a little unnerving. I don't know how you would say that. Try not to use the word scary, but change. Even though I know change has to come and it's inevitable for a lot of things, it's just I don't always take it very well. I'm a Taurus. I don't really like change all that much, even though I know it's necessary, but I really don't like it all that much. So I'm doing the best I can to cope with these changes, you guys. And I don't know. They'll pass. They will pass. It's just that sometimes when the changes come, they don't feel good. So again, I have to discipline myself to prepare for those changes in my life. And I'm looking forward to the changes. A new environment. I'm looking forward to, having more income. I'm looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to socializing. Enslaving again. That I'm not looking forward to. But, you know, when you want change, you have to exercise discipline. You can't exercise discipline without change. It's just not going to happen. It takes change to exercise discipline. We have to change our mindsets, change how we feel, change how we think. You know what I mean? I'm a little exhausted, you guys, so I think I might cut this off at 7 o'clock because I do have a date tonight. Yeah, I have a date tonight. Me and the hubby are going somewhere. I don't know where, but we're going somewhere. I need to get out of here. I've run a couple of errands this week, but I think I really need to leave out of here because I've been such a internet junkie, that we don't do very much. Plus, my husband is a TV fanatic, so he likes to come home and watch movies. Can't fault him for that, but I like to get it. I want to go skating. Infinite Alchemist really, really made me want to go skating again, So I'm going to get my little practice on so when I go down to Atlanta, she can, we can go skating. She can show me how she be skating her butt off. Girl, you be skating your butt off, sis. You be skating. But, I think I want to go bowling. Yeah, I do. I want to go bowling. So I think I'm going to do that. So I might go skating next weekend and go bowling sometime this week. And I think I'm going to go to the zoo on Monday and talk to the animals. You probably think I'm crazy for that one, though. I'm going to go to the zoo and I'm going to talk with nature and see what nature has to say about what everything is going on. I love being around the animals. I don't like them being in that zoo, though. I hate that. I just think it's cruel. It is. It really is cruel. I'd like to be that one that can talk to animals. You know what I mean? I'd like to be that one that can go amongst the lions and bears. And we communicate with telepathy. I wouldn't mind being that one. I bet that'd be pretty cool though, right? To talk to the animals. Are you serious? Oh wow, to talk to the beasts of the field and of the sea? Yeah, that would be awesome. That would really be. You know what? You know what I also want to do, you guys? I've always wanted to go down in the ocean. I've always wanted to go down there. because I know something is like really deep. I can tell y'all what I wanted to do when I was younger. It's still there in me. I want to be an explorer, and not for mankind's benefit or man's benefit, but for my own. I just want to explore this world and see. That is why I had to just drive to California so bad, you guys. If I don't have the guts I had when I was younger, but when I really got out there and just saw how big this continent, parts of this continent that I was looking at, made me feel so tiny, and it was just ecstatic. So I really want to go down in the ocean and see what's down there. They say, man, you can't go so far. I can. I believe I can do all things. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. I know I can do all things. I ain't gonna even say I believe because I know I can. It's just finding a way to do it. Can do all things. Remember, that's in church, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Yes, because I am the Christ. I do have the Christ. You know what I mean? So I believe I can do all things because I am that child of the Most High. So I can do all things. Yeah. I can do all things. I'm a Christ being. I got this. I got this. you know, I was watching Transformers Age of Extinction, and I like movies like that. And we went to go see it at the movies. And I was like, wow, when he was like, prepare for dark matter drives, I was like, what? No shit, word. Oh. Because Deep Space, if y'all remember Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, who was the captain? It was a brother, okay? And Deep Space Nine. Come on now. And then even on the Transformer movie, they was talking about dark matter drives, and that's deep space. And I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I love stuff like that. I really do. That kind of stuff is really, really intriguing to me, because it gets me to thinking, and I love watching the stars. And wow, it's this spot over here in Kansas, not Missouri, but Kansas. It's like 4 hours away from here. Awesome spots. You can see every star system out there. And I just begin, the last time I went was with me and my daughter, blah, 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 yeah. So when me and my daughter went, and we was coming back from California, and we was in, I believe, Wichita, Kansas at the time. It was just so beautiful up there. It really was. I've got to go back. Got to go back, you guys. I dream for the stars, okay? My head is always up there. Always. That's just how it is with me. That's just who I am. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to cut this short because, like I said, I'm exhausted and I got to go get ready. I don't really have to do very much. I probably put on a little bit of eye makeup and, do a little something cute to my hair. This style is so heavy. It is really, really heavy. Now my energy's coming up as soon as I said, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Y'all see that? It's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, you guys. So I'm going to get on out of here so that I can get dolled up and go out with my sweetie, my love. Yeah. I can be so bratty sometimes because, like, it's almost 20 years of a difference between my husband and myself. Yeah, and I can act like a spoiled brat sometimes, and he just be looking at me like, whatever. But he lets me have my way sometimes, not all the time. And that's one of the things I love about him because he don't just let me say, and this is what, he don't let me run over him. He's not weak. He's not. He's he's really laid back, but he's so aggressive, But I love him nonetheless. He treats me well. He does. I just like having my way a lot. So I'm gonna get out of here so that I can go get myself dolled up. And you guys, I apologize. It's not gonna be as long as I said it was gonna be. But I have to be honest with you guys, I have no energy to give right now. I really don't. So hopefully this week coming up, I will feel much better. And I'm going to change the time, you guys. I'm going to change it from Saturday to Sunday. And I'm going to probably do like in the middle of the day, like 12, or something like that. But I'll let you guys know. That's why I haven't been making videos because I just was so drained. I really am. I'm tired. And I think I need to get some much due rest. So we're going to change the day rather. And I'm going to go from there. But much love, you guys. I thank you for those of you who did show up. Those of you who did not, that is fine. You don't have to say things like, oh, I would, but it's no big deal. I mean, and I think that does kind of bother me sometimes when people just, to me, it's like excuses, and I'm saying excuses like as assholes. Everybody have them, right? Oh, I would show up, but such and such and such and such. I would show up, but blah, 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 blah. If you're not going to show, you don't have to give me no explanation. You don't work for me. You don't have to tell me why you would or would not show. It's no big deal. We're adults. We don't have to explain nothing to each other. Oh, I just didn't show up. Okay, you don't owe me anything. So, yeah, whatever. But I'm out of here, you guys. Much love. Later. See you next time.